I have never, people take advantage of it and they will come back and say, oh, my doctor says 3 days. And you know they're partying. You can see their eyes. They're red. And they take 3 days off. They inconvenience the crew, the cast production. You find they're doing big scenes with extra talent, background talent, and everything has to be shuffled around. Or they pick up the phone and say, listen, yeah, this show doesn't control my life, man. I've got other things to, and the guy jumps on a plane and goes to Port Elizabeth or whatever and turns off the phone. I've never done that. I've never come to work not knowing my lines, storylines. Sometimes they can go on backstage, was pretty long. I had the first one and then just 3 months, and then the second one was 4 months, and the writers apologized. Sorry, it's going on too long. And I realized at the same time, it's because they're depending on me, they're trusting me, they're enjoying what I'm delivering. So they just, the midnight oil is just burning. They're coming up with more concepts, what, to keep the storyline going. Because if I wasn't reliable, if I wasn't doing a good job pleasing them, they'll just say, cut the storyline short. Don't bring him on a storyline again. So now the thing is, biggest regret, not networking, keeping to myself, and being at peace, thinking it's okay. Everything's going to work out. See all Hollywood actors. I'm not comparing myself. I'm not on that level, but it's in your face, up and down on the red carpet.
Do you think you can just boil it down to that, like the people that you started working with, they're successful now because they did all of that? You think you can just...
They were out there.
So when you live alone in your head and you are living alone, you might be missing things that are right there in front of you. But honestly, if I'm to just go back to the root and maybe the...
Because for an example, we never did that. Like myself and so, we were never out there, for example, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We still keep to ourselves. But like, I'm curious, when the gigs start drying up, and because you're a brilliant actor, everybody's seen your work.
Mistakes, I make mistakes like everybody else, and I grow. I'm not perfect. Nobody can be perfect. Thank you.
True. When the gigs start drying up, what feedback are you getting when they reject you? Are they saying that, hey man, it's like you don't have it anymore? Has your performance diminished? You know, like what kind of feedback? Because surely I think as a good actor, when you keep auditioning now and your strike rate drops, you want to know, you know, like what has changed. I'm sure it's more than just new faces and on the block, especially when we still have actors from 20, 30 years ago still appearing as long as they are healthy.
That you don't get. I don't like to be confrontational with my agents. I won't say agents. I always stay.
They need to be honest with you also. Aren't they also just volunteering this info?
I have asked a previous agent, and she called me and she said, okay, you need to come in. I'll make some time for you. And I did. I was on backstage and I was sensing I'm on 2 years when we moved to Joburg. And I said, look, are you still going to be getting me auditions? What? Because it's been quiet. And she says to me, listen, why I set you down is to tell you, with some actors doing what you do, it works. But with you, you've been branded Duke. Maybe it's a unique thing here already before even casted in anything. When casting agents or producers think of you, they just think, Duke. No, we don't want him with that attachment coming onto the productions. And many other actors, my peers or younger, they do different, and they can do the same character wearing a suit. You always see the guy respectable wearing a suit, playing a different character, still the same guy, not shaved, no mustache, anything. And it sells because they're solid actors. And it doesn't matter what show they've been on. But with me and maybe other actors like me, it doesn't work. Maybe because it's distinct or I'm flattering myself, it doesn't work. So that agent told me that before I moved on to 2 other agents that I stayed with. Legends, thank you very much. Lisa Mudisane and your crew. Pedro, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. So I don't ask that. I don't, because it seems I'd rather go with trusting that if anything, they will tell you. So, I wanted to fill this in about the question that you asked. Why is it? And myself, no, I tend to be too resolute and too mutable to fate. And most of the time, I don't have friends. I've never really had friends or partied. If I told you something, you wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe me. And it's not feeling sorry for myself, but then maybe you'd get to have a glimpse of the pocket I've always been in. And it's not sad, but maybe you could say, no, look at the results. You're not working. I have never had a birthday party. I have never had a party of any kind. I've never. I said no violence on 702. And then when you look at the subtitles, it says no violence because you can't hear mumbled. No violence. I've never had a party. I've never had a New Year's party outside of home. Once I left home, 1991, then it was never a big deal at all. Person, not sociable, very well respected, but no friends coming in and out. I come from that background. New Year's wasn't a big thing. Christmas decorations wasn't a big thing. It's just the bare bones. And it's just they could afford all of that. We'd have presents, but usually money. My birthday, I would get money and something practical to count with, a box from my parents.